Like that version. I mean, he's fit.
On the right, yeah.
Looks good. Like, but look at the difference there. Yeah, I mean, looks very fit. I mean, he's pretty jacked. That's more recent.
It's probably not all good, but it's AB. Like, that's who he is.
It's crazy, bro.
Hey, bro.
Get a few more seconds.
Damn, my phone just died.
He holding it. Look. Let it out.
I had a dream.
Breathe, go ahead, breathe. Breathe, bro. Man, why you ain't breathing, bro? Breathe, bro.
Somewhere else. He's going somewhere else. He ain't even in the body no more.
Yeah, he think he would do the bop, man. How long do the bop?
A boxer, I probably never even seen nobody more entertaining than Adrien Broner was in boxing history. Like, in boxing history, he might have been the most.
Adrien Broner new training footage is getting people talking again, but the bigger question isn't simply whether Broner can still throw punches. It's whether this is the beginning of a real comeback or another burst of motivation that disappears before the next fight is signed. The former 4-division world champion has repeatedly insisted that he isn't finished with boxing, even saying he wants to win one more world title before retiring. But that ambition is now being measured against a very different reality. A recent public appearance raised fresh concerns about his conditioning and focus, while former champion Shane Mosley said Broner still has the skills to compete.
You still got the nuances, you still got those small veteran Hall of Fame movements.
I still got a little bit of my stuff in my little handbag, the bag of tricks. But yeah, it was good, getting there and kind of sparring, showing some of the people what I got. I still got it, that I'm not, too old or I'm moving around like I was decrepit or something. So they got a chance to see me, be able to be in my own element, doing the things I love.
Yeah. So Shane, what is all this about? What are you working on? It sounds like something big is coming. Like, what?
Well, I'm gonna let them tell you, what it is that we got brewing, but we still gotta go do some negotiations, some talk.
But needs something even more important: consistency and commitment. And that makes this new training footage much more interesting, because now Broner has something to prove. The first thing that stands out about the new training footage is what Broner appears to be trying to communicate without saying much at all. He's back in the gym, he's working, and he wants people to believe that another chapter is coming. For a fighter who has spent years talking about unfinished business, that image matters. Broner knows that boxing fans remember what he looked like when he was at his best. He was fast, confident, sharp, creative, and dangerous enough to become a world champion in 4 weight classes.
In the garage, you know what I'm saying? Like an old 72 glass house. That's what that man is. An old 72 glass house. Yeah. Still got them spokes on that thing, right? Oh yeah. Got them beats in the back. I was raised up in the JL audios, man. I was raised up in those. He got 4 of them still in the back of the trunk. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Paint a little rusty. Oil need to be changed. He done did all of that. Restored. 3 years out the game. 3 years out the game. See, a lot of y'all, because guess what? He done got himself right. He said, I'm going to return when I'm ready to return. Ain't nobody going to be talking me into nothing. I'm going to come back when I want to come back. Any elite fighter out there know what makes them tick. Any elite fighter out there know what they got to do to get back to form. Any elite fighter.
That's the version of Broner that still exists in the minds of many fans. But getting back into a boxing gym is only the first step. A few hard rounds, a sweaty workout, or an impressive-looking clip can create excitement online. But none of those things prove that a comeback is actually happening. Professional boxing requires something much harder to show on camera: repetition. The fighter has to wake up, Train again, recover, eat properly, train again, and keep doing it when the excitement disappears. That's especially important for Broner because his biggest questions now aren't simply about whether he knows how to box.
I go off, but right now we don't got to. We got a long way to go. A lot of weight to lose. Got to get back comfortable. I ain't even comfortable yet. And I don't mean comfortable like to where I'm just relaxed. I'm just like to where I feel good. You know what I'm saying? You know how many times I almost threw up in this workout? For real. I held it together. I know ain't no quitting me. Ain't no quitting me. I don't give a fuck what's broke or what's hurting. You don't have to kill me. If I don't die, that fight ain't gonna stop. But if I ain't too fucked up to where I'm too inebriated or my too knocked off, that fight ain't gonna get stopped. A bitch gonna have to knock they gotta knock my dick off. If you ain't hard enough to knock my dick off.
They're about whether he can maintain the routine long enough to prepare for a serious opponent. Broner himself has talked about getting back into the gym and preparing for another fight, so the intention is clearly there. The new footage gives supporters something positive to point toward, but intentions and preparation are two different things, and the difference between them becomes impossible to ignore when you look at the condition Broner has recently been seen in away from the gym. Because the footage was promising.
Entertaining than Adrien Broner was in boxing history. Like in boxing history, he might have been the most, for me, entertaining fighter outside the ring than anybody. So watching him on the streams, I'm happy for him, and I'm gonna commend him and give him my blessings. So I just say, when he get a chance, please stop drinking, bro. That's all I ask. Just please stop drinking, bro. That's it.
We want you to be around for a long time.
Yeah.
But the contrast is what makes this story impossible to ignore. Not long ago, a public appearance involving Broner created a very different reaction. According to the account you provided, Broner appeared with noticeable extra weight around his midsection, spoke slowly, and at several points struggled to stay focused on the questions being asked. He appeared to lose track of the conversation and drift into unrelated subjects, even acknowledging that he could not remember an earlier video involving Slap Floyd. It's important not to diagnose what was happening or speculate about medical issues or substance use based on an appearance alone. Broner himself did not provide a definitive explanation for everything that viewers saw. What can be discussed is the obvious contrast between that appearance and what is required from someone claiming to be preparing for high-level professional boxing. Broner was asked about concerns surrounding his situation and pushed back on the idea that everything had spiraled out of control. His response, however, also acknowledged that life could become complicated. He said, "Things are not out of control, but things can be a lot. Things can definitely be a lot." He also spoke about his brothers and described moments when he would simply sit and look at them. Later, he apologized to Shakur Stevenson, Terrence Crawford, and others after they had seen him in what he described as a difficult state over the weekend. Broner said it hurt his friends to watch him in that bad of it, although he did not explain exactly what had happened. And that's where the boxing question becomes much bigger than one workout. If Broner wants another serious run, he needs to transform his conditioning and establish a disciplined routine for months, not simply look better for a few days. And that's exactly why Shane Mosley's assessment suddenly carries so much weight. Shane Mosley isn't saying Adrien Broner has lost all of his ability. In fact, his assessment is almost the opposite, Mosley believes Broner still possesses the skills and talent necessary to compete. The concern is whether Broner can stay focused on the goal long enough to make those abilities matter again.
I want to see him succeed. I think he can come back from it. He's been going through a lot of issues, mentally and things like that. So I just wish him the best. I wish the best for him. Just wanted to stay focused, stay on the right path, and just, make the best out of his opportunity that he's getting. And, hopefully, we can see, Adrien Broner. It's probably going to be hard to get back to where he once was, but I want to see Adrien Broner, just well off, mentally, physically, and just get back to, the Adrien Broner.
What's your thoughts on that?
It's crazy. I got a different opinion than most people because, right, at the end of the day, nobody gonna get him to stop drinking. Like, that ain't even. That's a Adrien Broner decision himself. Like, he gotta have something within him. So.
I just heard him say he took his first drink after he won his first world title. You can't say, you can't bounce on that. All right, don't finish what you were saying.
But
you don't think you don't think he gonna?
I don't think nobody could really stop him from doing what he want to do. But my thing is, what I really want to say is, I feel like we watch him, we don't watch him, right? When the camera's not around and he's doing everything that he's doing.
Checking for him, yeah.
We not seeing it, everybody not concerned. But now that the camera's around and he's doing it while making money, he's making money in the process. I'm happy that he's in a situation where he could feed his family. Like, that makes me happy. Like, I want to see Adrien Broner make money and be happy and be good. So for me now, I'm happy watching it. It's probably not.
Mosley explained that if Broner doesn't lose focus on his goals and dreams, he believes Broner can still be all right. But he also pointed out a pattern that has followed Broner for years. Sometimes he appears to really want the comeback, while at other times the commitment seems to disappear. That distinction is critical. Boxing talent can get a fighter through a difficult moment. It can help him see punches, create openings, and make adjustments. But talent doesn't complete a training camp. Talent doesn't get you through the final weeks of conditioning when your body is exhausted. Talent doesn't force you to stay disciplined when nobody is watching. Mosley essentially argued that Broner has to demonstrate his commitment, rather than simply talk about it. He said Broner can talk about fighting all day, but he needs to be consistent and dedicated if he genuinely wants to make it happen. Coming from someone who spent decades competing at the highest levels of boxing, that assessment is difficult to dismiss. Mosley isn't questioning whether Broner knows how to fight. He's questioning whether Broner will do everything necessary to become a fighter again. And Broner's own words make it clear that, at least publicly, he believes the destination is still the same. Broner has made his goal remarkably clear. During a live stream with Dean the Great, while riding on a yacht in Miami, he told viewers that he intended to give them another run and said he thinks about boxing every day because he wants to win one more world title before retiring. That's an enormous statement for a fighter approaching his late 30s who has dealt with inactivity and repeated career setbacks. But what's interesting is that Broner wasn't merely talking about retirement in the distant future. He was.
Adrien Broner pulled out of his fight citing mental health issues. This was a fight Omar Figueroa, as you know, this Saturday.
Yeah.
Omar is saying that's not an excuse.
Yeah.
It's not a valid excuse, and he wants Adrien to prove he's actually getting mental health, or else it's just an excuse.
Yeah.
What do you make of the situation?
Look, I was brought up differently. I mean, when I was fighting in the 90s, 2000, you couldn't talk about mental health. You couldn't talk about therapists or anything like that. All we had to do is fight. That was our therapy.
Right.
Our therapy was training and fighting. Who knows if it worked or not, but that's just the way it was. It's just different times, different days. I can't really speak on it for the fighters today.
Right.
But when I was growing up, when me and Mike Tyson were growing up, it's like our therapy.
Speaking as though another fight was something he was actively preparing for. At one point, he said they were going to hit the gym the following morning. During the same live stream, he reminded people that he still had a fight ahead of him, and even told someone around him to focus. Broner also talked about staying sober throughout the day, before later admitting that he didn't think he would remain sober. Those comments illustrate the complicated push and pull surrounding his comeback. On one side, there is genuine ambition. Broner still talks about boxing as though he has unfinished business, and he still believes another world championship is possible. On the other side, some of his own comments reveal how difficult maintaining a strict fighter's lifestyle can be for him. That's why the new training footage matters. If it represents the beginning of a sustained camp, it could be the first meaningful sign that his approach is changing. If it's simply another temporary burst of activity, the footage will eventually become just another moment in the long Broner comeback saga. But Broner isn't talking about a quiet return, he's already calling for names that could immediately put his comeback under a microscope. One of the biggest names Broner has publicly targeted is Ryan Garcia. Broner didn't frame the idea as a cautious return against an opponent designed simply to get rounds under his belt. He challenged Garcia directly and said they could fight next. Broner argued that a fight with him could make Garcia more money and promised to take whatever title Garcia had.
Nigga, you got knocked out, nigga. You got stopped, nigga. I ain't never got stopped, nigga, ever. In life, no matter who I fought, nigga. Fuck you talking about, nigga? You done quit in some more shit. Bitch ass nigga. Quitting ass nigga. Girl cheating on you ass nigga. I just seen a clip of this nigga Ryan Garcia talking about he wouldn't fight me or he's doing shit way better or he's better or what. I don't know what the fuck he talking about.
Oh, he sucked.
But guess what though, my nigga? I wanna fight you next, nigga. We can fight next. You ain't gotta fight that nigga. Because I know you getting nice fights and shit, but you ain't gonna make as much money as you gonna get fighting me.
Fuck
you about
her.
the money, right?
Fuck her.
Fight me, my nigga.
Talk your shit then, nigga.
I'll take your belt. Do he got a belt?
And don't.
Well, whatever you got, I'll take it, nigga.
And will.
So what I'm telling you is this: stop all that bullshit talking about all that nice guy shit.
Bitch ass nigga.
When you was going through your shit, you was calling me, nigga.
And was.
You was calling me.
And
nigga,
was.
and I was answering every time, nigga.
Bitch.
So don't be on no fake shit now, nigga.
Fake ass nigga.
Bitch ass nigga.
Hoe ass nigga.
So what I'm telling you is this, nigga. You call your people, my people ready, nigga. I ain't with nobody,
Ready,
nigga. I'm doing this shit from the ground up.
Dolo,
and,
nigga.
And if you felt that way about me, you would've came to pick me up.
Bitch.
You had the money, right?
And did.
You ain't come pick me up, nigga.
And didn't.
He also brought personal history into the conversation, claiming that Garcia had called him during difficult moments and that Broner had answered, while suggesting Garcia had not returned that support when Broner needed it. Those statements should be treated as Broner's personal allegations rather than established facts. The important point for this story is that Broner appears to be thinking about a major opponent rather than merely talking about getting comfortable in the ring again. A fight with a prominent name would immediately expose whether the comeback is legitimate. There would be nowhere to hide behind promotional appearances or short training clips. Garcia's speed, athleticism, punching ability, and ability to create pressure would force Broner to demonstrate what remains of his own timing and conditioning. That's why the call-out is such a dramatic one. A veteran returning after significant inactivity would normally benefit from a gradual rebuilding process. Broner, however, is publicly talking about jumping straight toward major opportunities. Whether those fights ever materialize is another question entirely, and Garcia has not been established here as having agreed to the matchup. But there is another name that keeps coming up, and this one isn't about chasing a young star. It's about reopening one of boxing's most recognizable rivalries. More than a decade after Adrien Broner and Paulie Malignaggi shared the ring, the possibility of a rematch has started circulating again among fans. The original fight took place in June 2013.
Last thing you mentioned, you didn't close the door on fighting in combat sports. Adrien Broner, former opponent yours, Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor just came back. Things went horrible for him. Looks like Adrien Broner is cranking up to get back into the ring.
I saw Adrien.
Would you leave the door open for them, Broner, McGregor?
You know what the shame about the Broner thing is? That the rematch was so easy to make back then. It was the most common sense thing you could do. Think about how stupid you have to be to not make that rematch at that time. Like it was the highest rated Showtime Championship boxing event. It had a plot line that was continuing even after the fight with the post.
People still talk about it to this day.
Yeah, and people still talk about it to this day. Like, I don't understand the level of stupidity you had to have to not make that rematch. Like, it blows my mind because then all these corporate guys that are in this business, like to fancy themselves as intelligent people. Like that was a drop in the bucket.
When Broner defeated Malignaggi by split decision to capture the WBA welterweight title, the fight was memorable not only because of what happened inside the ring, but because of the personality clash surrounding it. Both men were outspoken, and the trash talk helped turn their matchup into one of the more talked about boxing events of that era. Now Malignaggi says fans are still bringing the fight up. According to the comments you provided, he's receiving direct messages and social media comments asking about a rematch, something he believes has become more commercially interesting in today's streaming-driven boxing environment. Malignaggi also pointed out that he and Broner wouldn't simply be streamers if they fought again. They would be former high-level fighters with an established history and a rivalry that audiences already understand. That's an important distinction. A Malignaggi rematch would carry nostalgia, personality, and promotional value that a completely random opponent wouldn't have. But again, fan interest is not the same as a signed contract, and Malignaggi's comments do not establish that the rematch is happening. At this stage, it's simply another possibility surrounding Broner's potential return. And that leaves Broner facing a much more basic question. Before any opponent matters, can he actually get himself into the condition required to fight again? This is where the excitement surrounding new training footage needs to become more realistic. If Broner is genuinely serious about another world title run, fans should stop judging the comeback based only on how impressive one gym session looks. The real indicators will appear over time. Is the extra weight coming off consistently? Is Broner training week after week rather than appearing for isolated sessions? Does his conditioning improve? Does his movement look sharp after several rounds instead of just during short clips? Is his punch output still there when fatigue sets in? Does his defense remain disciplined when someone is actively trying to hit him? And perhaps most importantly, does he actually sign for a meaningful fight and complete the entire preparation process? Those are the details that will separate a genuine comeback from another social media moment. Broner doesn't need to prove that he can still hit pads. He needs to prove that he can live the life of a professional fighter again. That means structure, recovery, conditioning, nutrition, consistency, and the willingness to endure the boring parts of preparation that nobody sees. His age doesn't automatically prevent a comeback, but the longer a fighter spends away from meaningful competition, the more difficult the transition can become. The first real test won't be whether Broner looks impressive in a training clip. It will be whether he can maintain that standard when the opponent is standing across from him and the rounds begin to accumulate. Because eventually, every comeback story has to leave the gym and enter the ring. And that's what makes Adrien Broner's situation so fascinating. The talent has never been the only question. At his best, Broner was one of boxing's most recognizable young stars. He became a world champion in 4 weight divisions and developed a style built around speed, timing, counterpunching, defense, and confidence. Even Shane Mosley still believes the ability is there. Broner himself certainly believes it, because he continues to talk about another world title as though his story is unfinished. He's called out Ryan Garcia. Fans are discussing Paulie Malignaggi. New training footage is giving supporters another reason to believe that something could be happening behind the scenes. But none of those things can answer the biggest question for him. The recent public appearance raised concerns about his conditioning and focus. His history has included long stretches of inactivity, and Mosley has identified consistency and dedication as the qualities Broner must prove rather than simply promise. That's why this comeback cannot be judged by one viral clip. If Broner keeps showing up, keeps improving his conditioning, establishes a disciplined camp, signs a serious opponent, and performs when the bell rings, then the conversation changes completely. Suddenly, the old questions become less important because the evidence is right there in front of everyone. But if the training stops, the weight returns, the fight remains unsigned, and the comeback becomes another series of declarations, then fans will have their answer too. Adrien Broner still has the talent to dream about another championship. The real question is whether he can finally build the discipline required to turn that dream into a real fight. And this new training footage may be the first clue, but it certainly isn't the final answer. Let us know your thoughts and comments below, because this debate is clearly nowhere near finished. And if you want more boxing drama, fight reactions, breaking updates, and the wildest stories from inside the sport, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for knockout updates. Because around here, the final bell doesn't mean the story is over. Sometimes, that's when the real story begins.